It's day number 29, and I'm here to tell you that I did not know that was going to change colors. That's a weird setting. I've never had that on before, but I'm here to tell you I'm a liar and I'm a cheat and I've failed. Anyone who's been following along knows that my most important goal of this whole 180-day challenge was to avoid eating processed foods and eat only whole foods, and I failed miserably. Might be a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but I did cheat yesterday. It was almost by accident. It was like I didn't even consciously make the decision to do it or think it through, but basically went to Mexican food after surfing for like in the most amazing surf session for like 3 hours of actually physically paddling around and surfing. And all of us went to this little Mexican restaurant across from the surf spot. I ordered grilled chicken and grilled steak only as sides, but I ate some tortilla chips. And doesn't seem like it would be a big deal, but it is cheating, and it is, objectively a failure to accomplish my goal of eating only whole foods for 180 days. But what it did is absolutely I probably had 10 tortilla chips. I did it subconsciously. They were just on the table. There was salsa there. I hadn't really eaten. All I'd had was a banana and a little half of a meat stick for the entire day. And it was like 3 in the afternoon, and I was starving. And I just ate, 10, a dozen tortilla chips with some salsa on them. And the pronounced negative effect it had on my body is fucking incredible. I mean, I challenge anyone who doubts how toxic food can be for them. I challenge anyone, just go 21 days. That was day number 28, but go 21 days without eating anything but whole foods, no exceptions, and then reintroduce a shitty, fried, seed oil laden, corn, probably glyphosate covered, pesticide, herbicide covered tortilla chip back into your system, and you will see havoc. I mean, I'm not being dramatic or anything. I was probably 3 or 4 hours later. I'd even forgotten I did it. It was just, robot mode of, eating a few tortilla chips while I'm sitting at, a lunch talking about surfing and what a great day we had. And, 3 or 4 hours later, I was just a little bit bloated and just had discomfort, like general discomfort. And then, according to my Oura ring, even though I fell asleep at like 8 p.m. last night from just sheer exhaustion, I woke up a bunch during the night. My heart rate was elevated a little bit. And then I woke up this morning just having kind of unpleasant dreams. I dreamed about like a tornado, and I was trying to get back to this house that we were living in like the middle of this hilly kind of wooded area. It looked like somewhere in like Virginia or something. I don't know. But I was trying to get back to the house, and there was this tornado coming. I came up over this hill, saw the tornado coming. My whole family's in the house. I'm trying to get there to warn them. I couldn't, and I had to dive into this like silo, like this grain silo or barn, and it collapsed, and I was like trapped underneath the rubble, but managed to survive. And then my family came and rescued me, but super uncharacteristic dream. And then I woke up immediately worrying about money and things to do with my job, and just immediate anxiety. And I didn't really think about it until I started journaling this morning. And I was like, the only factor that changed, I had an amazing day yesterday. Everything about the day was perfect, except for just reintroducing some seed oil, some fried toxic seed oils and corn into my system. And I was like, it's the only variable that changed. And it had a psychological effect, a physical effect, and it wasn't placebo because I wasn't thinking about it yesterday as much as I was this morning. I'm sorry that I didn't know that light even had that setting. That might be very distracting. It's pretty annoying to me. I'm not a huge fan of it happening. I like picking my vibe. I picked a pink vibe this morning, but it had a pronounced, physiological, psychological, sleep related effect. I mean, it just negatively impacted my life so much more than you would imagine. And I know people want to have, their treats and stuff in life, but I just urge anyone who's having health issues, especially gut issues of any kind, and this might not be a typical experience. It could be because I have a princess gut that was messed up from antibiotics, but I really would like anyone that's struggling with anxiety, struggling with addiction, struggling with any health problem of any sort, especially gut issues, to just try a whole food diet for a prescribed amount of time and make zero exceptions. None whatsoever. If you do mess up, just get back on it as quickly as possible. I used to mess up on whatever things I was doing. I would set a challenge to upload videos or something. I'd miss a week or miss a day, and I would think that I was a failure or think that I had failed somehow, and I would just not do. I would just stop, or I would start making more exceptions. But no, just if you do make an exception, just go back as quickly as possible. Shorten the amount of time that you're making whatever mistakes you have avowed not to make, and lengthen the amount of time where you're living in line with your goals. And for me, what I was saying is just please give it a shot and, see if it has effects on whatever you're trying to, accomplish or overcome. And the best way to do that is a daily journal. Just write down, I do it first thing in the morning, but it can be whatever is right for you and your schedule. But I wake up first thing in the morning and I just journal. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? Kind of review what happened the next day, the previous day a little bit, write down a few goals, some things I'm thankful for. It's a little different every day. Sometimes it's just stream of consciousness. Sometimes I have a great idea that I want to come up with. Like today I did a little outline for a ebook that I'm going to write, and it could be anything. But during that practice of just kind of review, it's easy to kind of keep track and make important notes of what is going on in your life. And you'll start to see, there's only so many variables in my life right now, and I really think that almost everyone, myself included, for 99% of my existence, completely undermines or doesn't believe in the incredibly potent effect that processed and ultra processed foods have on your body. And when you allow yourself the luxury of being in a state of non-inflammation and comfort from eating whole foods only, and then you introduce one of those things back, it's just crazy that maybe a ton of the anxiety and problems and depression and addiction and, non-motivation and all of these different periods of my life where I really struggled, maybe it was not entirely or very little actually external forces or innate things that I was born with that was wrong with me, or chemical imbalances. Maybe a huge part of a huge contributing factor to all that was just ultra processed, super inflammatory, fucked up poison that I was putting inside my body. This is only the third or fourth time where I've eaten really strict, and for a long period of time, over 60, 90 days. I haven't even made it to the 60 or 90 days, but it was one of the only times where I've been this strict, and the results just speak for themselves. I love waking up in the morning and just feeling like I have complete control, no anxiety, no worries, and just know what I need to do and need to act. And I think that all these other habits, the sauning, the exercises, keeping the small promises to yourself, all really help. The journaling, the gratitude, all of it is a contributing factor, but I don't think any of it's possible without the foundation of whole foods, at least for me with my gut issues. If you're having anything similar happen, I just, don't eat anything out of a package for a few months and see what happens. But it's day 29. I had a little lapse of judgment. I made a mistake, but all it is further conviction in what I'm doing, further motivation to make it through the rest of this 180-day challenge with 0 exceptions to the processed food rule. And that's the game we're playing. Let's do it. My phone's probably about to overheat. Just going to sign out for now and do some breath work and everything in the sauna. I started with the sauna a little bit lower today. I mean, I got in before it was already heated up. It was like 140. It's 161 now, 162 now, but gonna try to make it a full 34 minutes because I started at a lower amount. So it's gonna be a struggle, but I need it. I want to I don't know. I was gonna say excommunicate. Sure, yeah, this is my body's a temple. It's my church. I'm gonna excommunicate that fucking bullshit out of my body and start rocking again. So I'm out. We'll see you. I'll see you soon. All right, we are off once again. Sunday, day 29. To sell insurance. The glorious work that keeps the bills paid. I cannot believe how hardcore that sauna wiped me out this morning. Normally it rejuvenates me and stuff, but I made it to 34 minutes and I was just done for afterwards. I mean, it was an absolute chore to get out the door, and on my way to work and showered and everything, I was just, wiped out from it. Don't know if that's just in part due to the inflammatory response from eating those tortilla chips yesterday. I definitely attribute it somewhat to that because it is atypical, but also I was just still pretty exhausted from that surf and everything, and just don't think I got as good of a night's sleep as I could have. I slept for like 8 hours and 20 minutes or something like that, which is a lot for me, but definitely gonna go to work and grind as hard as I can for a few hours and then get home and call it an early night again tonight. It's nice to have finally accepted. This thing is just flopping all over the place. I don't know why. I will push it on further. Finally have accepted that I am an old man, 31 years old. And I say old man in the sense of like I'm willing to go home and go to bed when I need to, rather than always be on the hunt for more experience, more, and to allow basically everything else in my life to take priority over sleep, which is what I've done for the past, most of the past 31 years. I was always an insomniac. Even when I was a little kid, it killed me to go to bed at a reasonable time. And I always, was just thinking about what I was going to do the next day and what was going to happen. I was always had stuff on my mind. And sleep just felt like a complete waste of time. But I finally accepted that it's the exact opposite of that. It's the best use of your time. If you're, just getting your 7 to 8 hours, it's so essential, especially on the journey I'm on to completely and totally define exactly what it means and what it takes to heal in life. That's actually kind of what I was brainstorming this morning. Is I want to write. I've written a couple books, and I kind of want to turn one of the books I've written into a different story. Like take the stories inside of it, but weave it into it was just a memoir, basically. Just and it was, I wrote it for myself. I haven't published it. or anything like that. I just wanted to, yeah, take stock of everything that I had done so far and put it into words. And I wrote, a voluminous book that was just kind of a chronological story of my life. But there's no, real single thread weaved through it to where I don't know, maybe some people would take value or interest in it, but there was no real thread weaved of why I wrote it, other than for the cathartic event of doing that. If you haven't, I highly suggest, just for your own use and everything, to just put your story onto paper and into words. It's an amazing experience, and it makes you realize exactly where you're at in life and what kind of chapter you're on. And that was the main reason I didn't publish it, is because the book finished. Now I was like, the story isn't anywhere. There's no conclusion to the story. I'm still just a fucked up, confused idiot that doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And that's not I tried to make it have a conclusion, but if I went down to the root of it, that was the truth of the conclusion, is it was just not finished yet. And so, oh, there's a car accident right here. Someone, not really sure what happened. I'll point at it anyways. Some sort of car accident. But anyways, the story I want to weave is just my life's passion, my goal, and everything that I'm working towards is to figure out how to be in an optimized human state. And I really think that I have a valuable and unique perspective on how a person like me, the average person, can achieve the ultimate state of being, as health, happiness, meaningful emotional connections, purpose-driven life, and all of that. I think I have something at least to lend to the conversation and to give to, I don't think it would be universally accepted or enjoyed, but I think that enough people just like me are out there on a different part of their path where maybe they could derive some value from it, and I could derive great value from it. That's the coolest part about writing a book or something, is you take all of your beliefs and values and thoughts and you teach it and portray it in a structured way where it's applicable to, where it's actually digestible and applicable to other people. And in doing so, it becomes much more usable information for yourself. At least that was my personal experience. So I think that that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just, it'll probably be like, 140 pages. And I kind of outlined it today, where it's not going to, I said turn one book into another. It's not going to be a memoir book, but in order to, communicate the lessons I've learned and why they're lessons and why I'm applying them now and how I came to those conclusions, there's no way to do that without telling the stories that got me there and how it became that way. So first chapter kind of be just story-based chapter on how and why I am writing this book in the first place, and who may derive value from it and what its use case would be. And then the remaining chapters would just be each focusing on a different pillar of health and my own methods, imperfect, not finally formed, but at what I am considering a level that I'm proud of, the methods I've gotten to, for achieving success in that pillar of, I say health, but it's health, wealth, everything, just existence. And I think the pillars that I kind of outlined this morning would be, yeah, now I'm kind of blanking. Yeah, so I just needed a minute to gather my thoughts there. The reason is because I called it like the 7 pillars of health, and I was just thinking in my mind, I was trying to come up with what they were, but in the back of my mind I was thinking they're not really the pillar. Health is one of the pillars, I would say, more than anything. It's more like pillars of total human well-being. And kind of right now what I have them as are, I might name them differently, and might not be 6, might be 7, might be 5, might be whatever it is. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna lay it out yet, but health for sure, diet, exercise, sleep, spiritual well-being, mental well-being. That's 5 of them, and so it might just be the 5 pillars. I'm not entirely sure yet, but either way, that's why I need to, take the hour out of every day and just put it into book form. I'm hoping that I can, basically get it fully actualized before the end of this 180-day challenge. But the most important part of this challenge is just regaining my health 100,000% myself. So I have, a pedestal to preach from where, it's actually efficacious, and I can say like, this really worked for me. Maybe, take a couple pieces out of it and stick it into your puzzle, because that's what it really is. Well-being and health and happiness and everything, it's just a giant puzzle that we slowly solve throughout our life. And for me, there was just so many missing pieces to that puzzle that I've been, gifted or handed from other people outside of my, sphere of connection through YouTube and podcasts and books and things like that. So I just want to be part of the conversation, and just hope and pray that I can be, one small piece to someone else's puzzle that they're trying to figure out. Sometimes the smallest thing can have absolutely exponential effect in your life. The smallest thought or change or just way of picturing something. I heard, I was watching I think it was probably a Casey Neistat video or something, and there was just a song in it, and in that song it was saying, I said, I don't even know what the line was, but it was something like, everything is motivation. It was just like, that was the line that I heard, and I was like, it got me fueled up and juiced up and excited about life. And I'm going to kind of use that as a mantra when things happen, when events happen and I'm completely wrapped up in them, or kind of taken aback by them and feel defeated. Is no, like, rather than using something as an excuse not to act, just everything is motivation. No matter what it is that's happening, no matter how stressful it is, no matter how bad you don't want it to be happening, it's just motivation, it's just fuel. You have to reframe your mind and to respond differently to events when the response you're having isn't serving you. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna work on doing that more on on a day-to-day basis myself. But yeah, that's just that's the little tidbit of thought vomit that I had to excrete on my way to work today. I'm gonna try to incorporate writing a book along all the other things that are important about this challenge. should be pretty easy. You know, I find writing in quite large amounts to be quite easy, to be honest. And so, shouldn't be hard. It's going to be incredibly difficult to make it useful, meaningful, impactful, helpful. We have. All right. So my phone overheated, and so now you're sitting in the air conditioning. I was about to finish that video. All I was saying was it's going to be very difficult to make it desirable and valuable for other people to read, but should be easy enough to get it out there. I'm not going to put it on my list of things that must be accomplished by the end of the 180-day challenge just yet, because the most important thing is making these videos every day. The most important thing for me is making these videos every day and just sticking to my, personal goals that I want to accomplish. This first 180 days of the challenge really is just about me and fully focusing on the things that will bring me back up to scratch so I can actually function at full capacity and do what needs to be done in life. It is so hard to regain your health once it's lost. It really is the most difficult thing. That's why I'm doing this and why I've made it my mission to heal 100% from spinal cord injury. But that's it. Yeah, just gonna put it on the side burner and cook it, heat it up slowly. But I'm gonna get to work and my mama's calling, so I'm gonna answer it.